Hello and welcome to Liverpool Report. This is your home for all the latest Liverpool news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Anfield. Konate insisted he was innocent after being spared by VAR in Liverpool's win versus PSG. The Reds secured a slender 1-0 success at the Parc des Princes on Wednesday evening. Harveyelliott's late goal sealed victory despite the French champions dominating the majority of the game. It could have been very different had the hosts been handed a penalty following an incident between Konate and Bradley Barcola. The French defender appeared to take down his opponent with a free run at goal. No penalty nor red card were initially given, while Konate was also given a reprieve upon a VAR review. The decision left PSG chief Luis Campos furious, who could be heard shouting, "It's a red card or penalty in every part of the world," at referee Davide Massa in the tunnel. Konate has now spoken out on the incident and is sure that PSG were not deserving of a spot kick. Speaking to Canal Plus, he said there was a VAR check. "If there was a push, like you said, I would have been shown a red card. I'm telling you that there wasn't a foul. It's true that I am very strong, but I don't apply power, I just put my arm. If I had put a lot more power into it, then we could talk about it, but it was soft from me." And while Konate and Campos made their feelings on the incident very clear, there were a few more considered responses. PSG midfielder Vitinha admitted that the lack of a penalty was no excuse for the French champions. "It's difficult to tell. I was far away, so I couldn't see it," he said. "We're not going to hide behind that." Meanwhile, PSG coach Luis Enrique remained tight-lipped as he added, "I don't really like to speak about refereeing." Slot, however, was full of praise for Massa and his performance during the game. The Dutchman said, "It's not easy if you are a referee in a game like this, when the fans are so there for the home team. I don't feel he was in favour of us or in favour of them. I think he was a top referee in a game like this." Liverpool and PSG will renew rivalries next week, as each of them attempt to reach the quarter-finals of the Champions League. The winners of the tie will take on either Aston Villa or Club Brugge in the next round, the former 3-1 up after the first leg. Jamie Carragher has hailed Alisson as the greatest goalkeeper in the Premier League's history following his performance against PSG. The Brazilian pulled off 9 saves in the first leg of the Champions League last 16 tie between the French giants and Liverpool on Wednesday night. That performance proved to be key as the Reds kept a clean sheet at the Parc des Princes, despite the hosts having 27 shots. Remarkably, they scored with their only shot on target through Harveyelliott's 87th minute strike to claim the ultimate smash-and-grab win. Alisson was unsurprisingly named man of the match following his display. That saw him picked to represent Liverpool in the post-match media round, including with CBS, who Carragher works for as a pundit. The Reds icon made it clear how highly he rates Alisson ahead of the interview. He also delivered a cheeky dig at Schmeichel, who was standing next to Alisson in Paris. Carragher said, "What we have is the greatest goalkeeper in Premier League history alongside Peter Schmeichel." Schmeichel is routinely held up as one of the best keepers in football history, having won 5 Premier League titles and been named UEFA's Keeper of the Year 3 times. Carragher, meanwhile, admitted that Liverpool were indebted to Alisson for their win over PSG. "That's one of the biggest robberies you will ever see in football," Carragher added. "I can't believe what I have just seen. PSG were absolutely outstanding. They battered Liverpool. The last time Liverpool won the competition, Alisson Becker made a save against Napoli in the last group game, and they could have gone out if Napoli had scored. That is always looked back on as a defining moment. That wasn't a save tonight. That was arguably the greatest performance of his career, certainly in a Liverpool shirt. If Liverpool go on to win the competition, which they have a great chance of, That performance will be remembered for years to come. Alisson himself admitted his performance in the French capital was the best of his career, but he also hailed his defenders for their efforts, insisting he would not have been able to keep a clean sheet without them. Probably of my life, I think, so far, hopefully. The manager was telling us how hard it would be to play against PSG, how good they are with the ball, and we have to be ready to suffer. When you see the clips from the opponent, you know what is coming. So much quality in their side, he told TNT Sports. The biggest part of the chase is always having someone to make the player who is having the chance think a little bit more. So, it makes my job easier, all the effort the team puts in. At the end, Harvey coming in and scoring the goal, it's unbelievable and a great story for us. A great night. Arne Slot didn't just believe Liverpool were fortunate to win away to Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday night, he felt even a draw would have been lucky. Luis Enrique's PSG side registered 27 shots against Slot's men, not including the Kvaratskhelia goal, which was ruled out for offside. They couldn't find a way past Alisson, though, and were punished in the final few minutes when Liverpool substitute Harveyelliott scored the winner with his first touch. Les Parisiens had won 10 games in a row going into the game and have failed to score just once in their 24 League One matches. They won 10-0 on aggregate against Brest in their knockout playoff, but Liverpool dealt with everything they threw at them. Liverpool's manager is under no illusions that it was a fortunate result given the balance of play, though, and he made this clear in his post-match comments. "I think if we had a draw over here, we already would have been the lucky one," Slot said. "That is clear for everyone." I think they were the much better team today, especially in the first half. They had a lot of open chances, 3 or 4 big chances. In the second half, they were still the better team, still had a lot of shots on target, but they were mainly from outside the box. But I knew before the game and saw today again how much quality this team has, and these individual players have. So all these shots from outside the box are with a certain speed that you only see with the top players. We have them as well, but you see them with them as well. That's why Alisson still had to make a lot of big saves. Slot recognized there was something available to his team on the break, even though it took them until the final few minutes. We were already in the game 3, 4, 5 times. I felt like we can hurt them in transition, but we didn't. But we waited until the last moment and then we hurt them. He added, Alisson has been Liverpool's hero on a number of occasions in the past, but suggested this was a new high at the age of 32. It was probably the performance of my life, the Brazilian told TNT Sports. The manager was telling us how hard it would be to play against PSG, how good they are with the ball, and that we would have to be ready to suffer. We knew what was coming. We worked hard. We gave away so many chances, sometimes 1v1, but the biggest part of the chase is having someone make the player with the chance think a bit more. All the efforts the team put in makes my job easier. Then at the end, Harveyelliott coming in and scoring the goal, it is a great story for us. A great night. Newcastle United are demanding a Premier League record sum for Alexander Isak in a bid to warn off the likes of Liverpool. The Reds have recently been linked with a move for the Swedish star, who has been one of the best players in the Premier League for the last 18 months. Newcastle are reportedly looking for at least £150 million, 3 years after signing him for £63 million from Real Sociedad. Arsenal are also understood to be interested in Isak, who has previously been described as the Gunners' dream target. Whether it is Arne Slot or Mikel Arteta's side, a fee that would shatter the current £115 million Premier League record deal that saw Chelsea sign Moises Caicedo from Brighton, and Hove Albion would be required to wrap up a deal for the striker. According to Sky Sports, Isak's representatives have been in touch with Liverpool. It's believed that the Merseysiders are counting on their size, reputation, and recent success to sway Isak into upping sticks and joining them. It's also been claimed that Liverpool will advance an official written proposal to the Magpies in the summer. While the Reds have used a wide variety of analytical techniques to try and unearth young and cheaper talents, they would be willing to move away from this strategy to sign a best-in-class forward like Isak. However, this is all likely to hinge on the future of Mohamed Salah, which continues to be up in the air. At present, Salah is looking more likely to head towards the Anfield exit door at the end of the campaign. The Egyptian, who has contributed 30 goals and 22 assists in 39 appearances this season, will be able to leave Liverpool for nothing if he does not sign a new contract before July 1st. Considering his goal contributions look set to win the Premier League, Liverpool fans would no doubt be gutted to see the ex-Chelsea forward leave. While his current legacy is not at Salah's level, Isak has proven to be one of the finest goal scorers in the world. If the Reds were to replace Salah with Isak, it would go a huge way to banishing any supporter disappointment towards the Reds' talisman's exit. Isak is the Magpies' best player and most potent threat, and it will take an astronomical offer to convince the club to let the Swede leave. Sky also claimed that Isak may have to make some moves of his own if he decides he wants to join Liverpool. Newcastle will hold the cards in negotiations given their vast wealth, and the fact Isak is contracted to St James's Park until 2028. The same report claims that the Reds might need some additional pressure from Isak and his representatives to get any deal over the line. Isak's future remains up in the air for the time being and could be influenced by which flavour, if any, of European football Newcastle qualify for at the end of the season. Addressing the speculation recently, he said, "This is something you get used to. Sometimes you see things that make you laugh or things that are not right. Nah, it's just a part of football. It shouldn't really bother you too much."